What'd you think of?
Probably more kill threat. I think the Naga is undervalued at getting net at level 2 or 3 and just killing the Brood off cooldown, because Brood's been nerfed a lot. If you actually are able to go on her and do
Welcome
like
back
half of
to
her health, she can't really move anymore. She has such low movement speed.
Yeah, you mean something like CM?
Yeah, like CM or even the Skywrath position 5.
They are
people
the
been playing
chair
a lot.
sponsor here
Something with
at
just
the
like
Bali
purely,
Major,
you know,
and
you
if
all
you're
in
in the United
commit, go
States,
for a kill.
you can use the code
But
Bali
Didom or
Major
play
to get a
Shadow Demon?
5% off your
They actually
purchase.
swap it quite
That's
often.
it for us. So right now, we're going to be
almost
back
equal
with
appearances on the hero.
Quest
I think they also
versus
do they
Liquid.
swap lanes.
Ask-
I wouldn't
they
be
can swap.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised based on the way they move around the map on their supports. They're not really laning all that much.
Yeah.
So
What happened to the Hoodwing? Like, this hero completely falls.
I
And
think
it used
she
to
was
be, like-
always like the long-range poke hero, right? And she's just not universal. So I think her job in the
Rubik
lane.
is neither.
What?
Rubik is neither.
But I think like what Hoodwink. The thing about Hoodwink is she also doesn't really
wouldn't
carry
be
range creeps all that
surprised.
well.
I wouldn't be
She doesn't have as
surprised
much
based on
range
the
as
way they
Rubik is
move
when
around
she
the
like
map on
5
their
supports.
supports.
They're not really laning.
50?
Nerfed all her numbers.
Yeah.
Support started buying Culling Blade because it got like reduced in gold, so you can just cut the tree. It's not
Oh,
an
yeah.
instant nuke like it used to be. And also the offlaners that she paired with kind of fell out of favor outside of Brood, because Brood was like the biggest combination.
Yeah, I just remember because Hoodwing used to be one of the better support, you know, for the brutal lane.
10
Very good
seconds
duel.
remaining.
Very strong. Not obviously not against Naga. Rubik is better against
5
Naga if they
seconds remaining.
were waiting for the pick. But yeah, I'm surprised that people are just completely forgot about that one.
Turn to ban.
Yeah, the weird part about supports nowadays is they have to be super strong in lane, at least the ones that are getting picked early rounds, because otherwise there's like this, you're like racing each other to this point of like who's stronger in the lanes, and if you have a weaker support picked early, you're already playing catch up for the rest of the
10
draft, and
seconds remaining.
at any point the opponent has the option to just like double down on their lanes and say, we're gonna pick
5
Bloodseeker carry, you know,
seconds
we're gonna
remaining.
pick like a Timbersaw mid or something like this that's like almost guaranteed to win its lane, and suddenly 2 or 3 losing lanes.
Yeah, I think a race is just a good way to describe the whole game. Like, you want to race to win your lanes and kind of group up mid, especially right now, and just kind of 3v3. And then I think at some point in the mid game, it's a lot about wave shoving, because if you push the lanes and they can't, you can race to the next tower or the next objective, and you kind of speed up the game, and the other team gets trapped in their base, they fall behind. So right now, Quest, I think, has like a slightly better draft, because the Naga and the Shadow Demon kind of push out lanes really freely. They have a nice counter pick versus the Brood, so Liquid is on the back foot, so to say, right? They have to respond to what Quest is showing.
Do you do that in the 5 position
10
here? Like, do you
seconds
pick? They picked CM before. Like, they have shown they're willing to pick CM in against an illusion hero
5
themselves.
seconds remaining.
You can. Quest already had banned the 2 probably best supports versus illusions. They banned the Pugna in the first phase, and they banned the Lion, which I would say those are like the best supports in the game versus Phoenix. I know Quest used Phoenix to respond to a Naga yesterday, and obviously they're the ones with the Naga, but people have been trying to experiment with these like carrying damage supports, but yeah, they picked the Crystal Maiden.
That's what they did the other day. So it just, the thing about CM for people at home is that she can defend herself from illusions. She mitigates a lot of their damage because she has an AoE movement speed and attack speed slow. And if the Naga ever does commit onto you, you have the
10
ultimate.
seconds
So
remaining.
until Naga gets Orchid, she doesn't really do anything to you.
They do get Orchid really fast, though,
5
right? It's like the
seconds remaining.
first item after Manta. They'll get it at 18-20 minutes.
Absolutely.
And it feels like to me that this Naga pick is just it's just kind of broken in a way that there's not a lot of heroes that can deal with illusions nowadays in the meta, and the ones that do, they either get banned or they're not as strong anymore. Like, for example, even the Liquid, if they pick this Slash Track, he's still not as strong anymore because of this Bloodstone nerf, and you know, others that just been supports that are dealing with it, and supports are struggling to even like, you know, touch these illusions. They have to like buy some, you know, Dagons or something like that to make sure they have some tools to deal with it.
I'm literally looking for a Nisha Puck today. I think that's a hero that's underrated. It's got a really high win rate at the tournament so far. I was actually going to check it out. It is 72% win rate at 18 games. And I think Puck's just one of the few heroes that people are starting to pick like multi-cores. And she really is like a carry from the mid lane. Her early game's like not that great. But I've just found that hero to be super annoying whenever I'm playing the illusion people. Because she can clear your illusions with committing, like blink in, double nuke, and then orb out. So I'm curious if they'll pick that here.
Oh, this is an amazing Mirana pick.
Why?
They won a game with Mirana where there was no setup, but this game they had Shadow Demon already. With
And the Naga net.
Naga net with Naga Sleep, yeah, it's looking good.
Now they pick Mars, right? The
Or
classic.
Doom. I think it's Mars or Doom.
Yeah, but there's a
10
Rubik. I
seconds
feel like
remaining.
there's always the hesitation when you don't want to get your Doom stolen by Rubik.
5 seconds
I think the Mars
remaining.
gives them. It's really good versus Brood. People have been trying to pick it versus Brood as a response, and it's Mar, right? That's like his hero.
Yeah. Good call.
Straight up.
These teams definitely have their signatures.
I think Liquid now just responds to the lane they see. Juggernaut is
Juggernaut's a
really
good one.
popular, still in the pool, and it's okay for solutions because of the
10
crit.
seconds
You know, it doesn't get
remaining.
reduced by all this armor that Naga has, so kind of have a way to tank through or damage
5
late game.
seconds remaining.
If this was Matu, he'd pick Lifestealer. Just saying.
If it was Duraccio, it'd pick Lifestealer.
That's true. If it's Dratcho, it'd also pick Lifestealer.
Okay, what
I
would
think
make it?
Juggernaut is better than
What?
LS. Juggernaut is better this game.
Oh, I just really like Lifestealer against Naga specifically compared in the game. With the way I view it is that Jug is better if your team needs sustain, and then usually Brood provides that. But if Brood wants to go more of like a carry build, then the Jug would be better. I just
They-
don't love Healing Ward against.
They also have the opportunity to put Brood safe lane. I don't know if they've really played it this tournament, but they could pick something like a Underlord. It's really good
True.
versus Piranha and Naga. It'll have a good lane with Rubik, and then just put the Brood in the safe lane, then counter pick mid, and it's kind of
Radiant
fills out their
team
draft.
ban.
And Mickey hasn't played.
There you go.
Never mind.
Good call.
I like the Beast. It's really good versus illusions because the Ags heals you based on the damage it does. So when you verse these illusion heroes, you deal more damage to them because they're illusions, and you just keep healing up in the fight a lot.
Gunnar, have you considered a career in Pro Dota?
I've not yet.
10
but,
seconds
you know,
remaining.
I was just curious. You're really good at this.
maybe I'll be on there.
Okay.
Be in a
see
tournament one of these days.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Throwing out some feelers. Very
Yeah.
good call. Yeah, the nice rotation. I haven't seen them play it. The Broodmother carry.
I mean, people are usually afraid for the Beastmaster when they have Naga because there's like no way to touch this Beastmaster if he
10
gets Aghanim's.
seconds remaining.
But yeah, I think they're just
Radiant
surprised
team
that
back.
Mickey is gonna play this Broodmother.
If he's like, is it just when he's stunned that he doesn't beat the drum? Is it silence as well?
I think it's
No,
silent.
does it
Only
do that
break,
anymore?
right?
I think it's just stack based, and it
Oh, yeah, they
always
changed
does it.
Is
now.
it just stack
It's
based?
all the time. It's based on how many stacks of the
What
drums
about-
you have.
I'm not
Okay.
saying I don't
10
believe you. I just want to make
seconds
sure.
remaining.
What about break mechanic? Does this work?
I believe the break makes it so you can't gain
5
any, but you'll still have the
Oh,
ones
it's
you
like
currently
Timber
have.
Armor, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. I see.
So all he has to do is press roar, because you'll get almost max stacks whenever you press roar, and he just
Why do you
walks
get
in
max stacks when you press roar?
there. Roar gives you 10, 15, 20 stacks based on the level
Oh,
instantly.
really?
Yeah, it's
yes,
built
so-
in.
That's why you're here.
I like how he's so precise with the
Dude,
numbers.
no, I love Gunnar, man. You ask him any question about Dota, he freaking knows.
And so pretty much this beast is probably, I would assume he goes the just Ags BKB build, maybe a Crimson or a Pipe or something. I know some people like actually the Dom 2 versus Naga because the Dragon can clear illusions pretty really, but I think the Ags is better. And now it's just going to be a mid matchup.
This might be like the #1 net worth Beastmaster at like minute 15
Yeah.
in the entire game. I mean, that's just
10
kind of what he
seconds
does.
remaining.
What's there for Noob? There's
5
Storm
seconds
is
remaining.
okay. It's still in the pool. I don't know if he's really a big Storm guy, but it's probably one of the better heroes. It's okay versus supports, but it's really good versus the cores on Liquid, I would say, and it's a strong lane.
Yeah, you are correct about what you said. There's pulses no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's a good pack game as well, but they're gonna have GK on Team Liquid, and it's gonna be a really good DK game.
I'm telling you, I think Team Liquid will pick Puck if it's still in the pool.
Do you think Quest should steal it?
And then at that point, I think they'll get DK'd. So it's kind of up to, like, if they think that's a playable matchup. I know Liquid loves DK, and DKs have also been going like BKB Mjolnir, even when there's like not a Naga in the game. So I think that like DK Splash is like really good against Naga. We saw Nothing to Say. I don't remember who he was against, but he owned a Naga in one of his games. So I would love to Puck for Team Liquid.
I didn't see the move win rate.
No, it's debut.
Debut, really?
Yep, he has not run it yet at Bali.
I've been a big fan of him this tournament. I think that Universal Hero, just good. Buys a lot of stats because Atos has catch, scales really well. Kind of does everything. Gives you Roche. Pretty much high TA, Mars.
The whole concept of like having this mid hero that can completely by himself like make a pick up in the map, and your side lane is kind of just like farm and get bigger.
I would just like to say how much it speaks about a hero, with how often or what point in the draft they're picked. Because if the Berlin Major Wind Ranger was like first rounded, it would not have a good Wind Ranger. And at this tournament, she's been lower on the total poll, but when she's picked, she's got 17 picks, 65% win rate. So they still go for the DK.
I think it's a much better matchup with Lin. Beats her in the lane, doesn't really die to her early game, so Lin kind of gets the maelstrom, but people have been straying away going Atos, right? And they just go for more stats.
Drow
and HP,
Ranger.
and that doesn't really cut through Dragonite, at least.
My
until the Maelstrom,
sentiments as
so
well.
I like that pick a lot.
I think
Prepare
Liquid's got
for
momentum in
battle.
all 3 lanes. Maybe not top, like maybe the Mars will fare fine against the Brood, but I think Brood is becoming a decent carry because she does do very well at what a lot of these carries are doing, where they just retreat into their jungle, come up to the wave, and eventually they will shove you out just by virtue of summons and good trades with the heal from
The price you pay.
insatiable hunger. So I personally think Liquid's got all the tempo here. I don't think Naga can carry this game. It's going to be a lot on Noob and Amar, to be honest. Like, I think Amar is going to have a heavy weight on his shoulders, and that's something he definitely could carry.
Yeah, I really like what they did against Naga when they picked the Beastmaster, and the Dragonite has pretty good answers against it. So, I mean, this Broodmother is not really gonna do much in this game, but provide like stable damage output. But it's gonna be on Beastmaster and DK basically to
I
carry this
go
game.
in
And I like
silence.
the lineup in that sense.
I actually think that Quest is doing pretty well. I think Shouting is matching up really nice with Dragonite. Stealing the illusions of Dragonite late game is really, really strong. And so I think if they can make it to like 30-35 minutes, even if they're down, you know, 8 to 10,000 gold, I think that they can just come back really easily from that deficit. But the question is, can they get there?
Well, both these teams had some incredibly quick GGs earlier today. Quest was able to beat PSG LGD in one 19-minute game, and Liquid was able to beat 9 Pandas in a 23-minute game. Let's see if Liquid can continue that hot streak of speed with this push lineup in game number 1 with Cap and SVG.
The last 2 times that Quest has matched into Team Liquid was during the DPC, and that was Season 3. Quest managed to 2-0, and then they met again in the tiebreakers, and Quest managed to 2-0 again. So, Team Liquid on land are hoping for a different story here, and part of that is the draft. Avery, do you feel like they've set themselves up well for success?
I mean, both teams got the power to get Ziggy themselves. The interesting part about this is I feel like those guys up with, and it comes down to core picks, and there are core picks that players have shined on throughout the season. You have Zai on the Beast Manager, but I go back to I feel like Zai has been the most successful in terms of carrying the game.
Okay.
Maybe not like the map play and the movement and that stuff is as good as like a Tundra Beast or a Game and Beast or whatever. But in terms of carrying the game, being a top network beast who's getting in there, the Ags build, I think Zai's been the best at that all year. And then you have Amar Mars, which, I mean, needs no introduction, right? Yeah, I feel like he was the best Mars during that year when he was on OG. And so back skill, of course, will carry over here. I'm looking at these 2 offlaners. I know we've talked about the importance of offlane a lot. I think it still just drives the tempo of the games, especially when these carries are being first phased and are being counterpicked. It just puts more emphasis on how much this offlaner can do in terms of kicking the carry out of lane, creating space with the tier 1s, and then scaling. Like, that's the big thing about these offlaners in this game. Both teams are looking for the Mars and the Beastmaster, not just to provide some tempo, but pick up the damage in terms of going late game.
I actually asked Gunnar yesterday in our cast who he thought the most important role was, and he agreed with you. He said offlane. So
He knows how to suck up then. That's a worthwhile skill ability too, I must say.
I'm not sure if he listened to the cast or was just copying you, but it's possible.
You always copy the greats, gets you pretty far.
Man, Liquid playing very, very scared here in the first minutes
Your
of the
turn
game.
to ban.
Now, they gave up 3 runes very willingly. They did not try and contest at all, and they are still going to potentially run into first blood here as Insania gets nailed by an arrow from Omar. Omar is going to head back to the
Oh, that
power shot. Do you have another blood grenade?
Since I vowed to reclaim our homeland, I have never made a stop
Prepare
shot
for battle.
but I swear, this one is in the bag.
With no resources at all. Very good start for Quest on these lanes, and something I think they've been a little stronger than Liquid on for the course of the tournament, but not by a huge margin. Sure. If they can create some momentum. In this
30
game,
seconds to battle.
themselves in this position, particularly versus Zai. I think if you're looking at this Liquid lineup, it's around the Beastmaster, right? In the late game, the DK will carry with the Black Dragon, but he's against Shadow Demon. He's against a lot of stun action. The Wind Ranger can even be a nuisance for him late game. But the Beastmaster, if he just gets off to a fast start, he has to get stacks down here, then he can start
And they do kind of require a fast start, right? I mean, you've got to carry Brood. This is not a lineup that is going to scale particularly well, or at least not outscaling the Naga Siren.
feel like every time we doubt the scale of carry Brood, it proves us wrong.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he does have a DK mid, which can also be used up. Boxing team with this skill, I think he might be able to see balls carry all the way around here. Painful range. Yeah,
Radiant's middle tower is falling.
Before the final hits come down on him.
Box is just too good, man. You knew, even with an evade, was not enough.
Yeah, you're only going to get so many of those uphill misses to your favor.
Well, Liquid get the first blood, however...
You die alone. Radiant's middle
Feeling
barracks.
good about it with the extra runes to power up the network. Should be able to get some nice early items. And I think this is one of the things that Quest do better than a lot of other teams. They buy a lot more early stats, just on average. I mean, a lot of teams are going to prioritize it. I just feel like Amar is one of the biggest, early bracer, double Wraith Band buyers and trying to use the last hits. And it's one of the things that generally helps his team pull ahead a little bit in network in the early game.
Early and snare going to be used by TA2000 onto Zai here. Kaori is going to slip it in the trees and get even more stacks of poison.
You get number 4. Pop it. Not enough. Still a big 1 on Zai as well as a salve.
Get some heavy regen out of him, especially since they got the Lotus. Targeting TA2000. They think they're actually strong enough with another round of axes and a couple of hits. Yeah, you're right. They got the kill. Shattered Even Poison is stacking up on the two of them, but not enough to undo the damage that is done from a carry dying like that.
This is a very favorable lane for Liquid, especially before the Shattered Even level 3. Maybe if you get level 2 poison, you have a timing down here. It's just so many wand charges going into Zai. You can shove it out with the axes, and axes plus Fade Bolt are just better trade mechanisms down here. This is another reason I expect this Beast pick to work out really well for Liquid, because it should mostly free farm. Unless you get some cheeky ganks or something, I think Zai's going to have a good time. Nisha, 20 mid as well. 20-6 to the 19-1 here of Noob. This is a Dragon Knight favored matchup. There's not much counterplay into Dragon's Blood.
Yeah. Combination Dragon's Blood, Dragon Tail, and hitting harder than the Wind Ranger should lead to a CS advantage for him. As you can see, a bit more to Nice coming out from him. So he'll probably get his Dragon form first, which also puts in mind what is Quest going to do about that pressure when it starts coming out.
All right, I have a question for you, Cap.
Yeah?
I want you to answer this question with a yes or no instantly within 3 seconds. You're not allowed to think about it, and I'm going to judge your entire character off of that answer.
Oh, that sounds good.
You ready?
No. That's the
You're
question?
not allowed. No, you're not allowed.
That was the question.
You're
3
not
seconds.
allowed to answer that one.
Oh,
Should all passives be removed from Dota?
yes.
Ooh, you actually said yes now. All right.
100%.
You're a good man.
I hate passives.
I hate
Zai, he does manage to dodge that third stack there, but the fourth one is coming soon, and he does pick him, and it does kill him.
Just when I said he was going to have a good laning phase down here, if he got to the Vanguard, I think he's invincible. There's a very limited window for them to get...
Oh, a big God's Rebuke hit to the face, bring down Insania.
Dude, with the rotations, they're looking for mid-K too. Level 5 on the win range. This is really early and not one you expect.
Yeah, the only hero that makes a rotation pre-level 6 is mid laner is usually the Primal Beast, but Noob bringing something a little different to the table.
It's a very interesting move. He feels like he can't influence mid at all, and this doesn't cost him too much because he can just win run his way back. The issue is used resources, and this DK hits 6, and he's just going to start hitting your tower. And this is the downside of these DK matchups. What is the response to the form and the corrosive breath?
Arrow cuts in through the side.
Okay.
Great read by Omar.
Man, this leveled arrow for Omar has been doing work already. Ballsy build, paying off.
Yeah, certainly.
Still, can you defend your tower? That's going to be the bigger issue here. They're going to fight for the power rune first. It's a haste that gets denied just in time. Nisha sleeping a little bit on that one.
Yeah, a little bit late to the runes. Noob is going to take some damage here. No win run, so he'll take a lot on his way out here. We'll see how much Nisha wants to tank for that catapult. Yeah, he's going to take it all the way here. Glyph comes out. Rotations from Boxy as well. This all should be enough to secure maybe not the entirety of the tower, but a healthy amount of damage for sure.
This is where you wish you could have just TP'd the Morana and arrowed that catapult.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's just a little bit of a missed opportunity from the Quest supports. I don't think they had to stay around there and fight that. If you just go in, disrupt the DK, kill the catapult with an arrow, I think you would have saved a lot of this tower damage.
7-minute wisdom room is coming up, and I feel like nowadays it's just the support like double up on one side. Yeah, Noob continuing these rotations is going to maybe kill Zai here. Chase him up.
Javelin
tower shouldn't be a problem.
Man, he was getting almost no procs. What the hell? That was disgustingly bad. Eventually, it will get the kill though through that Vanguard. And yeah, these early Wind Ranger rotations paid off. I kind of like it, because you're probably going to lose this mid tower anyway. Sitting mid does not do anything to Nisha. If anything, you're just creating a game point for Liquid potentially.
Yeah,
Instead,
just accept it.
You get two good core pickoffs, accelerate your side lanes, and you shut down this Beastmaster. That's just extra value. Your second death for Zai in an early game where I thought he was going to have a free-for-all. He does have ancient stacks.
And it said it's Amar who is having the freest game of all. 4,000 net worth already.
He's so fat every game I watch.
Yep.
He is a net worth accumulator, and those are good to have on your team, I can tell you. It always feels like you can win a game, especially when it's in the off lane.
Who was the best net worth accumulator that you ever played with?
Back in the day, I feel like it was Sumail.
Yeah.
That guy just created gold out of nothing.
And another person who, you know, was very much known for winning his lane in a hardcore way.
Yeah, it definitely helps when you win your lane.
TA 2000 going to be brought back into the Primal Roar. And should be killed here. They have plenty of disables to work him down.
You know who else actually came to mind?
Who?
I think Resolution. I think when Resolution played carry, man, there were so many games he was just like 3,000 ahead of the enemy carry. It just shows. Some people just know how to farm. I don't know about nowadays, you know.
Yeah, off-lane Rezo. That's a little different than old school stand-in for Empire Rezo. Now that was a special Rezo right there.
That is very true. I don't know if he's happy or mad about that shout-out. I'll take both here. Hey, at least you got a shout-out. That says something, you know.
That's true.
But Amar is definitely up there, man. This guy, he might be the fastest farming off-laner we've seen in a long time. Especially off the lane. His lane mechanics are stellar. Sitting at 61 and 24 up here. Denied so much away from Nikkei. He's not even
look how
six on the
underfarmed
brood.
Nikkei is.
He created a 2K net worth disparity up here. I mean, sure, there was a single Wind Ranger game, but this much? This is a disgusting amount of net worth he's going to have, and it's going to be a question, what do you do with it? Do you buy a fast blink? Do you try and scale? Does this hero scale in the same ways that Amar used to make it scale?
Yeah, like the old
Midas?
Scepter and Deso and stuff.
He's going to go Midas? What an absolute gangster.
I mean, you said it's good to have net worth generation. Nothing generates more net worth than a Midas.
I guess so. This is just... Is it too greedy? Is anything too greedy for the Midas Mars? Is that even a thing?
It wasn't a thing until Amar made it a thing.
But what are you Midasing into?
Into BKB Deso Ags.
Okay, well that sounds, yeah, if you get all that, that sounds pretty good. I just think it's interesting because I don't think of Mars as a hero where the levels are that impactful. I mean, levels are good on every Dota hero.
Sure.
It's just not, there's no crazy level.
Yeah, it's not like, guys, I really need maxed out Bulwark before we can fight.
I think he's just going to go BKB. He's debating. We'll see what he ends up doing. Always interesting here as he kills some more Spiderlings.
He's getting a lot of those.
CS to add to his total here.
And Midas is going to be purchased by the Dragonite, though, so Nisha is going to be building up, which is kind of expected at this point. This is standard for Dragonite.
Yeah, I think it just feels way better. It kind of ends up paying for itself pretty fast. The other issue is if you just rush Blink, a lot of times that play is very forced. It's like the early Axe Blink, and if you don't have high damage supports like a Skyraptor's lane, the move is not guaranteed. It feels very awkward. I just hate that type of gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, just take the Midas, take the space you can create off the towers and farm it up, and play for Dragonite's timing, which I think is a late game hero. It's like Black Dragon with Manta, Nocturne, or Daedalus Mjolnir, or whatever type of build you want to go for here. Even MKB or Nullifiers could be on the menu.
Whoa! Nikkei didn't expect to be running into a Shadow Demon there. And Amar, finally does get off the arena. Took him a second there. Spear plus the arrow. Pretty easy. Oh, and even Noob joining in on the party attempted to take it with the power shot.
And how much gold have they gotten off Spiderlings already in this game? It feels like a lot.
Yeah.
Very interesting to see it, as sometimes it's not that much this early on. However, I've been seeing Amar clearing through these waves. Definitely adding to his CS, totally finds the kill, and he went Blink. Look at that. He was debating the Midas, but he'll take the Blink instead.
Okay.
Disciplined from him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he really shouldn't be too worried about late game, I think.
The late game can go either way, just not at the rate Mickey is farming on this Brood, man. Where is his network? He has been shut down very hard. And is this a Mickey hero?
It doesn't
I
really
pose
look
the
like
question.
it to me.
I'm not feeling it so far. I mean, I'm sure he can play it. I'm sure it's something Liquid scrimmed. It just doesn't stick out to me. I feel like I've almost never seen him play it. You go back to those Liquid teams, it was Matumba or Zai.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be third on the list.
Maybe he is a Broodmother player, just not at a level that he can play against Amar in lane. You know what I mean?
It's a tough matchup, too. I do think it's Mars favored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's like all these little things to get you out of a lane, right?
Man, this is a long chase.
Like, dodge the stun. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. He'll still dive for it, but he drew a lot of attention to the very bottom right part of the map, and Quest is up 2,000 net worth now.
While that net worth is in this Mars Brood lane, the DK and Beast are still finding a decent amount of farm for Liquid, and they are kind of the key pieces here, right? As bad as the Brood's game is, in theory, this Brood is not pivotal to their game plan. He doesn't have to do too much here other than maybe provide a Roshan and like kill a support in the fight. This was first phased, it got counterpicked. Your lane was tough. Ball is going to fall down to the DK and the Beastmaster to carry the weight in these early fights. Blink is up for Nisha, so that Dragon Knight is online. Do they want to look for a fight with it? How good is their follow-up? You get a good Rubik spell. Maybe it's good enough with Max, Frostbite, Fateful.
Yeah, if he steals Arrow from Mirana, that sounds great, but otherwise it seems kind of meh.
Yeah, and the move is coming from Quest first. That blink on Amaro was a little faster.
Oh god, are they going to catch Mickey again?
Do they even want to find Mickey again? I feel like you might want a better target at this point.
Yeah, you squished the spider so many times.
And smoke on smoke, blink on blink.
Nisha, he's going to jump first. Jumps onto the Shadow Demon instantly. An Arena Shackle Shot. Chaining up the disables, but that's okay. Anything to control up Nisha at this point in time. They only need a little bit more damage to finish him off, and that was enough. The Shadow Poison does the trick. Primal Roar will help them get 2 in return, though. As Insania, only 2 stacks of Shadow Poison should survive.
So not the kill into tower that Quest was looking for, as Liquid bring all 5 mid. Still lose the Dragon Knight. Midas off cooldown. Extra sad here for Nisha as he loses his gold efficiency. I'm sure Mickey is happy about getting some extra experience in gold in this game, though.
Yeah, certainly.
Blank. It was not him getting jumped for once.
And they have a chance to make a move still because he used Moonlight Shadow. I thought they would wait until the Dragon Knight was back into play because after all, Nisha didn't use Dragon Form in that fight. And they used Moonlight Shadow and Arena and stuff, so I thought this would be go time for Liquid.
That's a rare spell to get.
Yeah, certainly.
Not a steal you see often, though a very valuable one. Will not yield anything in the first result. I also like the Maelstrom Rush for new here. I think this is the correct way to think about the Wind Ranger in this game, is just provide as much single target damage and pick off as you can to bring down some big core hero and open the fight for the Naga and the Mars. I think if he went Atos first, it's just too little impact.
I think you would have no damage to stop the Dragon Knight.
Yes, that's a big factor. The Maelstrom Rush is way better versus the DK than the Atos, which is stats and nothing else, which, I mean, who cares about tanking up versus a hero that's going to kill you over time?
Yeah.
Still good recovery here for the Brood as Mickey got almost 2,000 gold in the last 2 minutes here. This hero farms fast. That's the upside. Even if you shut her down, eventually you will find her items.
Yeah, once you get to BKB, I think there's a lot less that you're scared of, as long as you're fast on pulling the trigger.
Radiant are scanning.
Gonna be Manta straight up heart for TA 2000.
Kaori with this deep obs on their Ancients, trying to get vision and block these camps up for what the Beast wants to do in this game. Maybe see a Wisdom Rune later. Nice little obs, especially when this tier 1's still up for Liquid, so Liquid want to play around it. However, Quest see everything down here.
Yeah, they doubled up on the vision in this lane.
This is kind of a race towards the Roshan. I feel like either team can do Rosh if they win a team fight, especially nearby to the pit. Moonlight Shadow is going to let Kaori get in here, bypass this obs and the Hawks.
They're going to set up on Zai.
He's just out of the
whole
sentry.
team is coming. Leading off with the disruption. The arrow follow-up is blocked by the boars. Not easily able to get it. Gets it off of the spear instead. Great setup from Quest.
Man, they skirt around that vision so damn well. That is going to be the power of Mirana ulti this game. You get around the Hawks, you get around the Broodlings, maybe DK illusions later. It's a good Mirana ult game. Going to help their core stay in the fight as well with the extra evasion when it comes online. People forget about that talent, but it is one of the things that made 5 Mirana really good at TI. It's decent this game. Kaori, you have overstayed your welcome, son.
Yeah, he has. That is going to be the Dragon form used from Nisha. So getting just a Shadow Demon for it, I'm not sure if that feels the greatest, but I guess it depends on how slow you want to play the game.
Map setup is, in theory, pretty nice for Quest. They just stick the Naga against where the Brood is.
Yeah.
And the Naga is going to slowly outfarm the Brood as well as steal camps away from Nikkei with these illusions. Pretty damn annoying for him right now. He can't ever go on TA2000 up here. And it's where all of Liquid's vision is, so all of your vision for Liquid is just seeing this Naga up here, but you can't really go up here and gank, or you can't interact with it too well, unless you want to devote a crazy smoke.
And that interaction's going to get worse and worse once he's got this Reaver. Huge amount of tankiness for this hero.
He's a map problem right now, and it's confining Liquid, especially their killers, to the triangle. Ags is up for Zai, so this is the period where you want to start get those fights going, looking for Roshan.
Yeah, this is where you're a lot more effective against the Naga Siren in fights. Telekinesis toss back. Kaori is going to be the victim of a spider attack here. TA2000. Disruption, dodges the ensnare, but Boxy's still stuck in the same old place.
Quest do not want to give up this zone control to Liquid, because they know the second they lose any sort of presence up here, that Roshan is just free. And I think they really want it for themselves here. If they had mana on Noob, they might have considered going in there with Focus Fire. However, he is out of mana, TP'd up here. Lack of resources hurting Quest on the map right now.
What do you feel about his build now going for the Lincolns against the Dragon Knight as opposed to completing the Gleipnir?
I think the Lincolns is okay. I wouldn't mind like Lincoln's Ags build or something in this game. Just be a backline killer with low cooldown Focus Fire. I think that is a route he can take and be pretty effective with the lane shove off the Shadow Demon and the Naga, splitting people up. I don't know if Gleipnir just does much. Like, the lockdown's okay. It's just going to be Amar going in first every time with the early blink. That's why I feel like you don't need it. You're already going to have arrow setups with Disruption, Shackle, Spear.
Right.
I don't know if you need more. You already have a net and ensnare too. It's like, how much root do you need? At some point, Liquid are going to have 3 BKBs, and you're going to have to think about that. I think the Gleipnir is a little weak versus the triple BKB timing Liquid's pushing towards here as well. So when you think about BKB already done for Amar, by the way. So he is happy to take any sort of fight. Especially one where he gets on top of Liquid's cores.
And now he's queuing up an Orchid. It's a pretty cool idea. I mean, it fits the hero nicely.
See, sometimes I swear Amar just queues up items to ping him to like troll his team.
You don't think he's actually going to go Orchid?
I mean, it's like the Midas earlier. Is he going Orchid third? There's no way, dude. I refuse to believe he's actually going to end up getting Orchid. What does it do? Is it for the beast?
I mean, it's even more single target takedown combined with Bloodthorn late game scaling.
Yeah, but you have to know triple BKB is coming out for Liquid, and that is the most important point to contest here. And Orchid does not help you at all with that. I would be very surprised if he goes Orchid. It does pay off in the Ultra Late with the Bloodthorn like you're talking about. It's just a long way to... I just don't know why you want it right now, right?
Sure, yeah.
That's why I feel like
I'll get the Mage Slayer or something first. BKB done for Nisha. Timing for Liquid, but they're playing into a high ground ward from Quest. Stolen arrow from Boxy. They really have so many things going for them right now. But Quest is being rather elusive and holding on to their 2,000 net worth lead.
Stolen arrow.
Ooh, almost caught Kaori, but fortunately, he had his head up and ready to go.
This is a really good spell for Liquid to fight around, because they have the DK initiation. And their BKBs are all coming online. They finished the Brood, they finished the Dragon Knight. I think it's just time to go force the Roshan. You don't have Zais, that's the one you don't need. So Liquid pretty much fully online here. And Scan does hit. Quest want to try and contest this. I think Amar will feel bad if they don't take the fight with his BKB timing here.
Sure.
Part on TA2000 as well. Yeah, they're just going to mass TP and smoke it up.
See if
no time to wait for you. This is going down pretty fast.
Yeah, they scan the high ground, so if they're not in the high ground, it means they're doing the Roshan, so they're trying to speed their way there, but they're too slow.
They might still take the fight if they get a good clump.
Yeah, TA2000 may look for the song opportunity here.
They want to fight under vision. They want to drag Liquid in a bit. Maybe have them split up. Yeah, and straight into this Brood and the Aegis on the Beastmaster. That tells you who Liquid wants to survive these fights.
Right.
Could be tough. Amar will take a Blink Dagger off the Courier from Boxy. Decent net worth advantage. Will he get caught?
Chasing after him. Nisha not in range there. Dragon form popped, but no Dragon Tail.
I think Quest are out of here.
Yeah.
Way too awkward. They need to get the other lanes in. They wasted some time. Got a Courier kill off it. Back to farm. Use the Naga on the map. Get as much out of that space as you can. As Liquid push towards their third BKB on that Beastmaster.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think you were probably right about the way Amar felt about the game, but I don't think Quest are required to contest Aegis.
No, this first Aegis does not matter. I don't think Liquid are going to be able to go high ground with it or anything cheesy.
I mean, they're already being elusive enough, and like, your extra strength of this Aegis doesn't do anything to stop the fact that TA2000's pushing in all of your lanes.
It's very true. And this Shadow Demon can scale really hard in this game. Like Kaori, if he gets to an Axis game, breaks the DK multiple purges, disruptions with the DK illusions, even the purge on Brood in the fight can be enough to kite her around. I don't think Quest are afraid of continuing to scale and go in late game. Even though this Naga in theory has kind of rough matchups, there are ways that they can get around it here. But particularly with the Wind Ranger and the Mars could be problems for Liquid later.
Now it's a Scythe queued up.
See, man, I told you. He's just like...
Another smoke from Team Liquid playing behind the Aegis hero.
Yeah, that arrow ran out from Boxy. A little sad here for the smoke gank.
And it goes to show how long these teams have played without really interacting with each other too much.
That's been a quiet period.
It's they got to start taking towers if you're Liquid. This has gone on long enough.
Yeah, especially when you have this Aegis period. They're still waiting for Zai's BKB. I just don't think they need it. Definitely want to be hitting some tier 2s, forcing Quest into you. Maybe they're afraid if they overextend on a tower, there's all this wraparound potential with the Mirana ult that can be hard to cover. And you just, if you lose a fight at a tier 2, you throw so much in this game away.
Yeah, the bigger the map is, I feel like it has been harder to deal with invisibility in general.
It can be very strong. Good thing all the Invis heroes are straight trash.
That is mostly true, yeah.
Bounty Hunter, Ricky, Nyx, where are you? Nobody can find them. They're in the garbage.
Nyx Assassin's like, please guys, I'm the answer to Medusa. No, you're not. You're still trash.
The answer to yourself.
All right, tier 2 was taken. Liquid gonna have just a bit of a poke here at the tier 3. The first sign of any defense, they blink and bounce away.
You know, it is a rare meta when the most viable Invis hero in Dota is your good old boy Brooklyn.
Talking about, of course, Clinks is what he's referring to. That is an obscure reference to be giving people.
Brooklyn Clinks.
Nisha in a bit of trouble. He can use BKB whenever he wants. He pops it now. They go for Boxy instead.
Reno will seal his fate. They do not get that big DK. Still, first BKB for Nisha defensively does not feel good for this kind of push-oriented 5-man Liquid lineup.
No, it's not going to feel great.
This Aegis just didn't do much other than get your beast to the BKB. There are some Broodlings starting to hit bottom, so Amar will go back, look for the high 5. No one wants to give it to him. Very sad about that one.
He just wants to keep playing with Mickey.
Just wants a friendly high 5. Amar the friendly. This guy taunts a lot too now.
Yeah.
Well, those players just spams taunt Maki. Those are the worst. Butterfly for TA2000 here. Ooh, he is far. He is very far.
I think Liquid just straight up, I mean, Zai just gave up his life on the Aegis.
What did he even die to?
Yeah, just Naga Siren Illusions. He just fought them to death. So, at this point in time, I don't even think Team Liquid can end the game, right? There's no possible way, I think, for them to deal with the Sirens, so...
They have to go late.
They have to go late, and we're going to see how good Broodmother and Dragonite are going to be able to scale into this game.
It's going to be very interesting. This DK is a very good matchup versus Naga. I think it's a fantastic DK game, other than the Shadow Demon. That's like the one X factor for Nisha, is how much is Kaori going to be able to punish him in the fights, or just break him, mess him up, put his own illusions on top of him. Outside of that, I would be very confident in Liquid scaling behind the DK here. I just don't know how much that's going to influence the matchup. This Wind Ranger one can also be weird, particularly when the DK gets broken, because then that single target focus fire damage just escalates out of nowhere.
Sure.
Like, you throw a Disseminate out there, anything can happen. So Noob and Kaori are really the scaling factor for Quest that are going to, I think, make them feel pretty solid about this game. I don't know. I feel like Quest is just going to win this late. I think they can kite out the Liquid stuns, make the fight very awkward.
Yeah, that's my assumption too. Arrow, long range.
Yeah, but are you killing him with a heal?
Yeah, the illusions do play against you.
That's
the
very
heal is
awkward.
going to work, and they got the Primal Roar at TA2000. This is actually a little bit awkward now. The Moonlight Shadow, but he pops the BKB, chased after him, but he's already away thanks to the Force Staff. They do manage to get the root onto the Mirana, but it goes against Quest. Thinking they had the options there, but the drums, man, they keep you too high health against these illusion heroes.
So the Naga answers the Beast Ags and the Crystal Maiden with the ult. Sends TA2000 packing, and Omar has to sacrifice his life for the carry's sins.
Yeah, it's a rare time where you see Insania #1 in terms of all the supports in the game in net worth.
That's very true. It's probably Illusion Gold helping him out. Just farming it up on the Crystal Maiden.
Which means he's very likely to scale pretty well. I mean, he's looking at a BKB if he gets to a point where he can get like BKB, Shard, Blink, that sort of thing.
You are annoying. You're definitely annoying, especially for the Naga. Even when these BKBs run low for Quest. Still, this is the timing where Quest can strike. Hex done for Amar. That is what all that net worth went into. At least you get a good damage test here, you know? You're like, all right, see how much I can kill this Beastmaster. You were killing him. You got that going for you.
He was losing more health than gaining. Yeah, Quest in their smoke. On their quest to find Team Liquid somewhere out of the map. The spiders are going to start spreading around, getting some information just about TA's ward, and they're going to run into him.
Ward is sick.
It is a deep ward that's going to be able to find a great arena for Amar, instantly taking down Boxy. Nisha now going to be focus fired by Noob, but they're going to turn around with the Dragon Tail onto him. His win run can only last so long here, and he's going to be diced up by Liquid, who are here in force, and they bought back on Boxy for that one too.
It's very interesting Omar took Boxy over Nisha there with the Hex, because in theory you can chain it up with the arrow. I guess it can get body blocked, and the Rubik is a guaranteed kill as opposed to this DK. Maybe he doesn't die.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, Boxy has buyback here right outside their base. It's kind of, okay, we're going to take him and get the hell out. And Noob did not get the memo going in there. Pays a big price. You give up level 4 Shackle Shot as well. A very strong spell steal on the Rubik. Especially when this duration is increased with instant cast point. It's a nasty one to give away. We'll see if Boxy can make more of it than he did with that arrow from earlier. Did cost him a buyback.
I always love to see when teams queue up multiple of the same item, where they very clearly have like a team philosophy here. It's going to be the Scythe for Amar, which he has completed, but then also TA2000 is considering it as well. Even if he doesn't go for it, it just kind of says like, okay, they feel like they need just more disables to win these fights. Just an overwhelming amount of control.
I wonder if it's going to lack damage. Because this Hex is kind of over your Bloodthorn, right?
Yeah, exactly. Bloodthorn would be the other option.
And I feel like the Bloodthorn is nice when you have a Hex, because you can just go and Hex somebody, Bloodthorn them, and burst them before Liquid can attack.
Yeah.
It is better for saves, because you have multiple Hexes to deal with that, so somebody can jump the Rubik, you can jump a core at the same time, and then this Rubik Shard, which could have maybe potentially come out later, isn't as effective.
It's better against the Broodmother, I would argue, because like with the silence, but he's already got Insatiable Hunger out, then he maybe just out-life steals it.
The actual man fight. See if they can make it pay off right now, because this is when it's super strong. You are guaranteed getting the initiation, especially with Milano. That's another factor here. You have 2 Hexes running in Invis. Hard for Liquid to react.
They're going to be taking this 4 versus 5. No Insania here in this fight.
Gem, they sound first.
They immediately see the Siren, that's going to be a big kill, but the Disruption's going to be able to bail him out. Fiori is going to be chased down here by Nisha. Meanwhile, Mickey is going to be a bit of trouble here, going for Amar, but Spear back in the arena, and look at that damage coming out from TA2000. It is overwhelming Team Liquid. They cannot stop this Naga Siren, who will now use the song, not for a save, but for more kills.
Arrow and 2, they're going to get Nisha here.
Yeah,
sure.
Certainly. Insania is going to show up, freezing field, but it's going to feel pretty impotent here. Telekinesis not going to stop what the damage is coming through. Insania will be caught up in this as well. Liquid get absolutely trounced by Quest in this fight for Roshan.
Snaga's way too tanky. Just runs and tanks all the initiation. Gem lost there for Liquid as well, which is the only thing that made that kind of go their way.
I think they got it back up on the courier.
Did they?
Yeah.
Actually got it out of there? Holy crap. Okay, I don't know how that worked when Omar was literally on top of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do salvage it. That's a consolation prize, though, as Roshan is going to go Quest's way. Boxy finished Omar on the back end of that. So he did play that sequence pretty well. It's just the sustained damage and how long it took them to go through the bulwark in the arena. Your BKBs run out. That spear landing on the Brood was huge. That's just a damn good team fight there. Understanding their timings with this double hex and abusing Mirana ult to the maximum really helps get you on these initiations with the extra move speed. Liquid not being able to see these supports. They're doing a lot in these fights. The disruption save was also pretty pivotal, right?
Yeah, great play by Kiori, playing it back, getting the right blink in. Prime Roar going to be used, see if they can kill the Shadow Demon before he can save himself.
Yeah, no one to bail him out.
Now Scythe into a spear with the arena.
Arrow gets blocked by Boar.
Yeah, Noob's going to be able to chase down the backline, though. He went for Boxy, but an immediate Glimmer Cape is going to be able to buy him a little bit of time. Had the vision, got outside of it. Now instead, he turns towards the Dragon Knife, but with the Focus Fire already used, this is an awkward fight for him. They're going to start backing out. TA2000 is going to call it quits. Song of Siren used.
Snared.
Ensnare lasts forever, actually. They're going to have to fight this one, I think. Nice spear, locking down the Dragon Knight. But yeah, Dragon back in with the harpoon.
Another ensnare.
Another one, man. Boxy keeping it going. This is a dangerous move. They have to fight for their life now, but the Focus Fire is back up and being laid into the Beastmaster. Might be able to get him, but they finish off the first life of the Wind Ranger. When he comes back up,
it's walking in.
Look at the Crimson Guard go. TA2000 is going to be able to turn and to help deal with the Crystal Maiden, but he's trying to get out with the rest of his actual hero. As Amar is going to be targeted. Dragon Tail by Mickey. Harpoon and back in once again. TA2000, everybody else is dying around him, and they can finally focus down the Siren, who falls 4 dead on the side.
Sometimes I swear Amar just chooses a fight.
How did that work so well?
That fight lasted so damn long. He got a
I don't think he's actually going to go Orchid.
I mean, it's like the fight is earlier. He's going Orchid third. There's no way. Liquid too long here. They kite out a lot of the damage from Quest 2 because your Shadow Demon died first. That's the biggest factor there.
Yeah.
Kiori is so important to bailing out the single target initiation from Liquid and also giving them sustained damage over the fight. There was no arrow sleep connection either. A lot of the hexes were kind of used defensively to try and recreate a gap that just never got reset up.
And Boxy got to be the MVP of that second part of the engagement because he gets targeted by the first Focus Fire. Glimmer Capes get out of sentry detection, and then the ensnare.
Mage Slayer or something first. BKB done for Nisha. Timing for Liquid, but they're playing into a high ground ward from Quest.
Like, stop.
Stolen arrow from Boxy. They really have so many things going for them right now.
I will use your strength against you.
And then the second
gone to their 2,000 net worth lead.
On the Aegis, it's silly, really.
It really is. And like,
Up and ready
you
to
have to shackle the Siam to get rid of the ulti as well, not what Noob wants to be doing.
The funny part is TA2000's not dying. It's just Quest keep on trying to play around him. They have to. And then they die.
And the thing is, both hexes at the end here were used on Boxy because they're sick of getting ensnared. Like, TA2000 hexed him to try and TP out.
Yeah.
Boxy knew he was dead, blinked to try and catch Amar, and Amar hexed him again. It's like, no more ensnares for me. And then he had to BKB TP. So they got a BKB out of the Mars at the end of that fight as well. Down to 6 seconds here.
Now there's a massive pickup. Nisha has an MKB. That'll help a lot with dealing with these Naga Siren illusions.
That's a lot of damage here. I mean, it's either BKB or like Bloodthorn Mjolnir build. He'll go for the MKB here on top of that BKB into AC. It's going to shift a lot of this physical damage back Noob's way, who went for that Silver Edge to get the break. That break's going to be very important as you don't have a Shadow Demon Ags for a long time in this game. Do have a Nullifier on Amar. This game is just coming down to single target focusing cores, right? Like, who gets the jump? Do you break the DK and slice him in half? Does Liquid get their BKBs off and get a roar, and you just focus down the Wind Ranger with Nullifier? That's where that Shadow Demon saves. This Disruption is becoming one of the most important spells in the game, as well as the Rubik save off the Telekinesis. Both of these backline supports can bail out the single target go from either team and reset the fight, and then you might just be in a really good position. Then it goes back to like Naga Illusions and Mirana ulti, right?
Yeah.
How much does that set you up to find the jump, or do you find the Rubik first? If you're Liquid, you got to find the Shadow Demon first. There's a lot of balance in this game. It's just a question of who seizes the opportunity that gets given to them.
Shivas, that'll make the Beastmaster a lot tankier against the physical damage, the Wind Ranger, plus the Naga Siren. He just wants to exist in the middle of these fights.
Scale's picking up for Liquid, man. AC plus the Shivas is going to help.
If he gets to an Axis game, break DK, multiple purges, disruptions with the DK illusions, even the purge on Brood in the fight after that be enough to kite her around. I don't think Quest are afraid of doing the scaling going late game. Even though the Naga in theory has kind of rough matchups, there are ways that they get around it here. Particularly the Wind Ranger and the Mars could be problems for Liquid here.
Pretty hard to stop. That's the power.
Now it's sight.
See, man, I told you, it's like just getting better and better. Shard already online. Insatiable.
Another smoke from Team Liquid playing behind the Aegis hero.
That hero ran out from Boxy. A little sad here for the smoke.
That's going to be to show how long these teams have
casting any spells,
played without really interacting with
one off of
each other too much.
They are.
Fine, period.
Yeah.
They got to start taking top Quest if you're Liquid. This has gone on long enough.
Especially when you have this Aegis period. There's still all this waiting for Zai's BKB. I just don't think they need it. Definitely want to hit twos, forcing Quest into you. They're afraid if they overextend on a tower, all this wraparound potential with the Mirage that can be hard to cover. And you just, if you lose a fight at tier 2, you throw so much of this game away.
He's going to find an opening.
Yeah, the bigger the map is, I feel like it has been harder to deal with it.
They used the zone right away. The BKB did go off from side though, and Boxy playing trying to hold it in place. That is a beautiful disruption. Hold him in place. Does manage to blink away though. Great move by Amar. No covering.
Where are you? Nobody can find them.
To be able to
They're in the garbage.
Nyx Assassin's like, please guys, I'm the answer to Medusa. No, you're not.
Radiant
still trash.
The answer
to yourself.
Time for Liquid to back
All right,
up, and they're going
tier
to
2 was taken. Liquid gonna have just a bit of a poke here at the tier 3. First sign of any defense they
still
inbound
right
away.
Like the game when it's normalized, it just means that Quest
it
has
is a
more
rare
map
battle.
control and very likely
this hero
the initiation advantage. It feels like they have a lot of things going their ways. Liquid's just making it difficult.
Talking about it.
I feel like Liquid is getting more out of the map in a way. Like this Naga is kind of peaking. So all the farm that TA2000 is continuing to take, it's not that impactful.
Like it's not going to trickle down to the rest of his allies.
There's no trickle down economics for Quest here, and all three of Liquid's cores are just beefing up. Yeah. They're providing damage, they're providing tank ability. All of them are problems. Whereas I don't know how much damage this Naga is actually putting out. I mean, the thing is, TA2000 went for BKB, Ags, and Hex. It's a lot of control, extra control during the BKB durations with the ensnare, plus you can reel him in, I guess. I mean, I don't know if you ever sit there and reel him in, but the thing is, it's a lot of defensive or control-oriented items. There's not the Bloodthorn build. There's not some crazy spike they hit with this Butterfly, and it will start to wear off here.
Well, the nice part is he can consume the Aghanim Scepter and open up another slot, which is what he's trying to do.
That is, yeah, then you get Swiftblink Battle off your game.
Swiftblink, do you think that is the right item choice? Again, I kind of look back to that Bloodthorn. Like, that is a way to crack open a single target focus, right?
It does feel like Bloodthorn would be the best item for Quest going in these late games versus the Tricore that Liquid is presenting them. At some point, you're going to have to cleave through these heroes.
Yeah, this triple core lineup is like so tanky, each one of them. Did manage to get a ranged barracks off the illusions.
That's something.
They still struggle to deal with these illusions when it comes to the split push. In the team fights, they're okay with it, but they are a nuisance.
Raiding Roshan is going to be great for them. Those buybacks are pretty damn nice here. Especially when you're fighting up against that triple BKB-oriented lineup from Liquid. Even if you lose your Shadow Demon, Kaori can come back. If Omar wants to tank the jump, he can buy back and be straight there.
Yeah, it almost feels like it guarantees.
TA2000 is in with the real hero, by the way.
Shivas goes off, but So does the Song. So he's going to be able to get away. Liquid.
I don't know if he was intentionally looking for that, but he broke their smoke. Hawk will get slain as well as they control this gate high ground. Okay, you're poking.
Look at all the spiders and the boars and everything, giving them vision.
There's a hornet's nest right here.
So now we're just going to have a standoff around the Roshan pit. The other lanes seem to not really have a huge amount of pressure one way or the other, so...
Top will eventually push in for Quest. It's going to take a long time. Zai gets found with a casual shackle. The Rubelines are just scouting so much, and there's Murano. So this is Quest popping this defensively.
They're trying really hard to force this.
This is a good spell to get out of. You're really happy you just got that up by setting Rubelines in. Now you're not going to have it for the middle of the fight.
Yeah, Song on cooldown, Moonlight Shadow on cooldown. Opportunities present themselves, but how do you push into that high ground area and the outpost?
They still have this disruption on Boxy, by the way, so they're going to send some DK illusions in, and Nisha says, I've had enough. Going to kick him out of here.
Runs through the outpost area.
You're going to see Cores here. Finds a bar.
Yeah, he's going to spot a Mar first. Start hitting him, blinks away before the spear.
Noob on the backside as well, looking for the Rubik.
Yeah, this is very interesting. If he catches one of those backline heroes, Boxy's hidden away in the trees right now.
Another disruption on the DK.
Look at it, they're smoking to him.
Shift positions, musical chairs. Tyson out there.
I speak for the shades.
Boxy, the smoke is going to break on him in a second here. This is super scary. They're actually going to get the initiation onto the Brana. Fast kill, instant buyback though. Meanwhile, Lamar on the corner here. Primal Roar. They start going for it. They're going to chain it easily. They're going to chain this one, and Lamar is going to die. The Song comes out too late.
They're not going to buy and take this. They're just going to get the hell out. Noob is top somehow. I guess he botsed up here.
Yeah, he's going for the buildings.
Trying to force heroes back. But stolen Song.
Oh, stolen Song. That's a pickup right there.
Time to go to sleep, my friend. If they can get heroes here, they have Nullifier. They pop the Lincolns. Yes.
Pop the Lincolns, get the Nullifier on him. He's dead. Ooh. And they're still going to be able to take Roshan unless Quest does like a really ballsy move and buys back and runs to the pit.
This is a shard song too, right? So it's going to heal a bit. This is a really good spell for Boxy to have. Low cooldown as well, 60 seconds. He can set a lot up with this. Counteract those sneaky initiations from Quest, and Nisha slowly killing this Roshan as the only play Quest have is the threat top again. I'm surprised Amar did not get a buyback for that fight.
Yeah, same. I thought they were just going to mass buyback for that fight.
Just didn't look good enough. I guess Zai finding him on the side, killing him before he gets anything off. Just way too good of a pickoff.
I thought they would have played for Dragon Form expiring, right?
And they could have done that as well, yeah. There were a lot of little timings there.
Oh, Insania instantly eats it up. He's like, I've almost got my Blink Dagger, boys. So now, and he's almost level 18. So now, Blink BKB Freezing Field. That is a really big impact in these fights. You're actually going to be getting frostbites now on these illusions.
Shows how much faith they have in him to be the X factor in this late game, because he took that over a Brood Spinner Snare. He took it over a Rubik who can get 2 spells.
Another song could be used. And it caught the Marana. He has the gem port.
That is a gem.
And it's a gem that the Marana has as well, right? Yeah. So now they've just taken that resource away from Quest.
Boxy has an entire Hex, by the way. Well, these songs are, they're deadly. You just get turned into a sheep, you're gone.
I mean, part of it is the Aghanim Scepter, but there is a massive difference even still. If you take away that 4,200 net worth or whatever away from the Crystal Maiden, there's still a very big net worth difference between the 2 supports of Liquid and the 2 supports of Quest.
Liquid are just finding way more on the map. It's all going into Naga for Quest, and this Naga net worth is, it's just not mattering right now.
Especially if he dies here, BKB, TP out. The damage, though, they are showing that they can overwhelm the Naga Siren's HP pretty quickly now.
You need to make up some scale. You need to make it up fast here if you're Quest. It needs to come through Refresher from Amar or some sort of damage item on the Wind Ranger. This is looking like a game ender from Liquid right here if they get what they want out of this push. Age is still up for 3 minutes. Cheese in Nisha's backpack. And they have level 25 on Brood, level 25 on Beast. These big talents are coming in.
Yeah, soon to be level 25 on Nisha as well.
Prepare
Trying to stack
for
up the
battle.
poisons right now. Anything to weaken up Team Liquid. Well, Noob is going fishing here deep in the mid lane and is going to be caught for it. Oh no.
Dead again.
Yeah, he's going to be telekinesis hexed, frostbitten, and all liquid through. Run back to punish Noob again. Quest have seemingly given up on the idea of 5 versus 5s now.
Twin Rangers felt useless.
Yeah.
Just not able to find the core pickoffs in the early mid game that would have propelled him to some sort of late game scale. And now he's just moving. No BKB. Doesn't want to buy it because he wants to buy back up. Is it going to help him take this fight? Little Lord comes out. Remember, this is low cooldown now. So I'd be happy to just truck him out and see what happens.
Yeah.
Solve Aegis for 2 minutes.
He gets the maxed out drum beats too. While that happens, spear back into the
Got
barracks. Arrow's gonna happen as well here. They're gonna go for the Dragon Knight, but a toss back away with the telekinesis. That'll help bail him out. Even though he has Aegis, they don't want to lose his dragon form. Oh, the BKB fades away and Mickey sticks onto him. Just needs a little bit more to finish him up, but a big heal comes out from that God's Review.
Rolling song again.
The song for the arrow. Ultimate for the full duration.
Buyback committed from Noob yet. What is the signal?
Spherical
If it's not that
sorcery.
spear back, I don't think it's PK form is out. Always have this shard signal. Man, this Tricor is... You have double hex now on liquid side. You have tank ability.
Experience tools. True
No lack of
arcane
damage.
thrive.
MK.
Celestial Inferno.
This is
Chaos.
I don't know how you can do a hero unless you can jump him and all. That has proved way too problematic.
Such
Quest.
tedium.
Their Naga is falling off fast. If you look at this Naga 6 slot, I don't know about you, but I don't feel like it's sleeping too much here.
No, not anymore. It is far too late. I thought the wind ranger was like game is usually refresher, double arena, like combined with wind ranger running around. I would have imagined that would still carry through some of these late game fights. But I don't know when it happened, but at some point that they couldn't take straight 5-on-5s.
Kept farming with the fire. They didn't find the fight. It cost them a lot. Let Nika catch it. This ultra late. Mr. Naga suffers from Aegis for 30 and the BKB.
Siege away like that. He's doing it with Justice Hero. They can't challenge him.
Death by 1,000 Dragon Knight. Trying to start the fight on the Dragon Knight. He still has Aegis.
With the arrow and everything, the telekinesis throwback. They can still chase after him with the arena, but again, the song goes out and the song
Everybody's
at the same time, so everybody's left all at once. They're going to come back into it, but Nisha has already been healed up a significant amount.
The old 10 hero sleep. I don't know if I've seen that one before. It'll reset the fight here. Definitely benefits Liquid as they're just healing up their DK. His Aegis was wearing out. That's a close timing by Quest. I think it was a little off still. Able to just walk it off. You get... Actually, you do not get that melee racks. Does get defended here. Continue to stall this game. Try and push towards some answer to the front line here from Liquid. It's got to be a refresher for Amar, right? Just double hex, double spear somebody. Take them down.
Yeah, isolate him. Bring that one hero down with a focus fire, especially if that second arena can somehow keep Boxy out of the way of being able to provide that telekinesis save.
He's just doing way too much on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Save steals, disruption steals, shard saves. You can't find him. He's ninja geared. He has an Aether Lens. Boxy knows what his job is.
Bots 2 under the Mirana. Fast pickup.
That's just instant.
Dire are scanning.
Dragon's got a spider behind him. Look at
Amar is spotted by the Hawk. Zai's going to open up on him. Primal Roar and the team, they'll be here for the follow-up. Now 2 dead with no buyback on Quest. Liquid will scurry their way quickly to the high ground.
This might be a game ender here. You don't have the gold for the buyback on Amar.
Look at Noob. He's so desperate to keep them out of his base. He's going for a focus fire, but that just sets up for Boxy, who time and time again has been the answer to Noob. Can't quite stop the BKB, so he will manage to get out. That does leave Mickey and Zai in a little bit of awkward spot here. Mickey TP's out. Okay. He's clean. TA2000 can't quite catch up to Zai either, so...
Wow, they actually got out of that, man. When you do have this ensnare breaks BKB, I guess it's just too easy with the Lincolns and everything from Liquid.
Yeah.
Heroes get out on both sides. You did not lose too much for this Amar death that did not have the buyback. And you will get a chance to contest this next Roshan. Damn, is it getting hard. It is getting tough to find openings for Quest right now as Liquid are just choking out this map. Those bots 2 kills they're game finishers. Off a Hawk, off a Spiderling. Find any sort of opening with the Dragonite, the whole team just comes in. Devastating. As they'll get another shard here. For Zai. Look at that. Now you got some extra dive bomb on top of everything else in this game.
Yeah, when they're already trying to pick up so many scythe devices on both sides, having any extra disable should be nice.
And those dive bombs are useful for Lincoln's breakers too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Get one on the noob. He's going to have a rough day at the office here. As TA2000, I mean, he is finding net worth. Give it to that. Swift Blink finished here. Ags and Shard almost level 25. I'm still just waiting for the damage. I don't feel like it's enough. Unless you can line it all up off some double spear initiation from Amar.
Does the 25 talent on Naga help out that much with damage? Right? Isn't there the one where there's less attacks for the trigger?
Yes. Which, it's a little extra burst. I feel like most time people take the mirror image cooldown.
Yeah, they do. I was just thinking about that other one because they seem to have a hard time focusing down a single hero.
You gotta combine the break off of Nuke Silver Edge on the DK with Naga going in, chain some Hex, and you have to deal with the saves from the Rubik. That's the biggest problem right now. This lift back, these sleeps. He's looking up the high ground. Does he want to take the Dragon Knight here? No. He does not.
No, they've tried that too many times.
Still a cheese on Nisha, by the way.
Yeah, you're not bringing him down 100-0. You don't have that many stuns. You don't have that much damage. So that is a pointless go. Bottom lane is pushing in big time, by the way.
This is something Liquid can always leverage in this game. The fact that they have 2 lanes here and a Beastmaster to give vision of Roche Pit. The whole map is very straightforward to play.
Which is going to help a lot when Roshan is going to spawn on the Radiant side, too.
Going
to be nice to contest. As they're looking for the pickoff here, bots 2 on Anisha. Will not find Amar. He barely gets out of there.
They're going to take this building.
Eventually, yes. Got a lift.
Zai pushing out with the Shivas. Managed to get the Scythe onto the Naga Siren here. Force out trying to get him away. TA2000 pops the BKB, but now that means he won't have his BKB and won't have that magic immunity. Gets off the song, though, before Boxy could chain it.
Down to bar. You also have to BKB TP here, and still no Abyssals up. So these are still get out of jail free cards.
They do manage to stop the Mirana, though. So they do get a pick off of all of this.
The melee racks.
Melee racks did fall, yeah.
They got that racks. They got a glyph. Not the worst trade.
Tier 3.
I mean, you don't have buyback on Mirana. I don't know how influential Mirana is at this point. Might be better just to not give Boxy the spells. I don't think you're contesting this Roche. No way in hell you're contesting this one.
Yeah, I mean, the Dragon form is going to expire at some point, but probably better just to push out the lane, see if you can maybe start chipping away at that mid. I almost kind of want to keep TA2000 on the top side of the map so we can start backdooring the mid lane next, too.
Or just cutting waves, make the pressure in a lane.
Yeah, see if you can
just
catch Liquid, slip up somehow.
It's so easy for Liquid to find you off of some random hero going in with the bots connection.
Yeah, that's true.
It's spooky. Very spooky.
So another Aghanim Scepter that they keep for the support.
Yeah,
we got the
Boxy here.
And Nisha is going to consume his own, so that just leaves Mickey at this point, the only one who doesn't have an Ags. That's where a healthy portion of this 34,000 net worth lead from Team Liquid lies in, is all of their heroes scaling up together.
The name of the game nowadays, it's a 5-man wrecking crew. They're all dealing a lot of damage here. AEC finally finished for Nisha, as he'll also consume his Ags. Man, is he big. Yeah, he's not even the most farmed core on his team. Bottom.
Yeah, Mickey still 5K ahead of him.
Yeah, he bought a full Swift Blink, has another 5K gold. Can't even slot all this net worth. just too much gold for Liquid to use. They're going to try and push this last lane down. It looks like Quest want to fight outside the base.
See if they can surprise Liquid here. Break the
Wow,
lane.
the beast.
Nisha do manage to get the initiation on his side, but the spear didn't latch. BKB goes off. Now there's still the focus fire from Noob. Might be able to bring down Zai, but it got off the Primal Roar, and their turnaround is going to commence. Zai, he's good. TA2000 calls a halt to the team fight. Song into a blink away, I think. Yeah, that's it.
They're going to have to buy back the Wind Ranger here. And they got nothing out of that. Literally nothing. I guess you're going to wear out the DK form a little bit, but this is not going to stop Liquid from going high ground. As Nisha still half the duration up.
That they had that Beastmaster, the spear latches to the tower, but it was just a bit shy.
It was a little off. Now you're going to have to take another fight outside your base.
Go spot the Crystal Maiden, instantly scythe before he can cast anything else after that.
Omar is not winning this fight.
No, he's not. The freezing field is out from Insania as he crawls his way forward. Look at the illusions being demolished. He blinks forward on top of TA2000. Way too much damage.
Nice shackle.
Gonna have to play for a reset here, possibly through
There's no running.
second life of the Naga, but no, they just GG it out.
The Brood is way too big and way too hungry as Mika ends this game 13-3 off a rough start. He climbs his way back to the top, and they made this Naga look like mincemeat, man. I just did not feel like Quest were going to scale off the Naga in this late game, and the other two cores fell behind. Those were the cores that had to pick up the slack that we talked about. It had to be the Mars and the Wind Ranger, even the Shadow Demon continuing to find the farm and winning the fights around Roshan for them to win this late game, because the Naga is going to fall off at a certain point.
Right.
And the only person who kept up was TA2000.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
mean,
great.
when the Siren gobbles up, all the net worth on the map, it doesn't really leave anything else for anybody else.
No, he had a crazy amount of CS here. Over 1,100. Oh my God. He had 1,140 last hits on the Naga. The next closest in this game is 540 on Amar and 660 on Mickey. He's literally doubling up the Broodmother CS here. But honestly, I feel like it's bad for Quest.
Yes, it is. I
Because
think
it's
so too.
so much net worth going to the Naga that doesn't change anything about the late game fights. And it's just them trying to stall the game, pressure off that one lane of racks that went down. It's just not leading to a win condition here. Team Liquid get way too big, and that Zai Beastmaster collects another dub.
He does indeed. Team Liquid maybe have found something to propel themselves into the final day here at the Bali Major, but that is just game one, and Quest undoubtedly will have a better idea going into game two. We'll see what they come up with. Let's head back to the panel.